Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the stream. So sorry about the few issues we had then. I'm just double checking James's.
And entirely my fault. Jenny did everything right, and it's the first time I tried to do that, and I had a setting that I could not find in Restream. So that's all on me. Jenny did everything right.
No, to be fair, Restream is a little bit tricky. We do all have a few problems with it. So, but I think generally it's the most robust program in general. But it's just a little bit more intricate and kind of tricky to figure out. But we're here. We're live. Welcome everybody.
So, and welcome to my listeners over on my channel. I know we're here at an odd hour for some of my U.S. listeners, so we appreciate that.
Nice.
So,
Hi, Linda. Should we say hello to everybody individually?
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. Welcome in DJ. Welcome John.
Hey.
Welcome Adrian. Welcome Lee. Welcome Tim. Welcome Mum. Mummy is here. Welcome Gaz. Welcome Clive. Welcome Paul. Welcome Tell. And do you want to say hello to your viewers as well?
Yep. So I'm not going to call out the lurkers. So right now it's just basically Swag John and Ilk that are live in the chat. I see I've got a few other people listening, but I'm going to be nice and not call out my lurkers right now. So let's talk
Me?
about Jenny. Yes, let's talk about Jenny. So.
Oh, I mean, okay.
So Jenny, introduce yourself to the crowd.
Yeah, so I am a singer-songwriter from a place called Widnes, which is in between Liverpool and Manchester in the UK, the northwest of England. And yeah, I've been releasing music now for about 5 years. Well, I've been officially releasing music for a bit longer than that, for about 10 years, but I've only really been kind of taking it more seriously in the last sort of 5 years. So yeah, I guess we should start at the beginning. So I released an EP called The Quiet Kind in 2016. After many years of picking up different instruments, starting with the drums, and then it was kind of singing and guitar. And then I decided, I actually like writing my own music, and I did that quite early on, right from picking up the guitar when I was like 14, 15. But I didn't really have any solid songs ready to go out until I was, kind of in my late teens, early 20s, and I put out the EP, The Quiet Kind, 2016. I literally just did it as like, oh, I could put music on Spotify and that'll be great. Didn't sort of try and have like a campaign or anything. And then 2020 hit, and we all know what happened in that famous year. COVID hit, and we obviously all had to kind of stay indoors. And prior to COVID, I was doing like a lot of open mic nights and pubs gigs and covers and all of that type of stuff, and weddings and things. And when lockdown hit, I decided I want to do a live stream. And I remember specifically the day I decided I want to try and do it online. And no one was really doing live streams at the time. And I remember thinking, like, I'd seen like a couple of people do like a live stream, like a quiz on the phone. Obviously, the audio was just being picked up by somebody's phone. But I was like, I want to do it, but properly, because I knew I always had like the gear to do it. And I was like, I want to figure out how to do it. I sat down and figured out how to do it. And the first live stream that I did, it went onto Facebook, and it was like with all proper audio. And I got over 300 viewers on that stream. And it literally like blew up, like not like thousands of people, but there was like over like 300 people watching, and it was literally like a life-changing moment for me. Everybody was just so supportive in the queue, and I thought, okay, so I would be playing to 5 people in the pub who were listening to me, or I could do this and get hundreds of people watching me, and that's what happened. And from then, my original music kind of started growing, and then since then I've put out another 2 EP, well, technically another 4 EPs actually, and 2 albums, and more on the way. So yeah, that's where I'm at now. I'm 2 albums in, and yeah, looking forward to the future. I also do a lot of live gigs as well, and yeah, that was quite long-winded, wasn't it?
That's all right. So a couple things I wanted to ask you about. So I actually found you through Carrie Ann, who's one of your fellow people in the Herd Collective. So tell us a little bit about the Herd Collective. I know it's you and Carrie Ann and Daisy. Tell us a little bit about that and how you got involved.
Yeah, so Daisy and Kerry Ann, they kind of set up the Herd Collective. They're the founding members, and they started it as a way to promote female singer-songwriters, and also female musicians as well, to empower, I guess, to empower women in the industry, because it's a very tough industry for women. And yeah, they did lots of showcase type events and gigs, and they actually started doing live streams as well. I think Kerry Ann was doing live streams like quite a lot before me in terms of on Twitch, and we found each other on Twitch, and then they invited me to play a show in London, and that show in London actually happened the day before my first album came out. So that was really great. I could kind of promote myself a lot at that gig, and that changed a lot for me, that gig. And then through that, since then, I've done Glastonbury with them 3 times now, which is life-changing and a great experience. And Daisy and Kerry Ann are both amazing. And they have lots of female musician support, like kind of like they invite different people all the time. And I'm just very, very lucky to be one of those people.
So on that note, Jenny, so I have some more questions for you, but I thought being completely egotistical, we talked about this. I could ask you. So for those of you that are listening that don't know, my name is James. So of course Jenny has one of her songs that's one of my favorites. So I was going to see if I get Jenny to play that for us. We'll come back and have a few more questions for her.
Yeah, do you want me to do that now?
That would be great.
Sure thing. Absolutely. You know, like I've been searching for a man that they call James. Searching, hoping, wishing.
There you go.
This was one of the songs that actually I did write earlier on. And this was actually released on my Forgotten Songs EP pretty recently. On the 30th of May it came out. I decided that I wanted to, while I was writing some more music and taking some time to really kind of hone in on a craft and on a project, I decided I want to put some of these songs out that I've had kind of in the catalogue for a long time, that don't get really the I don't want to say credit, because I think they do get a lot of credit, but they don't get the play that a lot of the other songs do. I realised I didn't sound check this guitar, so if it's too loud, we'll do a little sound check now. I just need to. You're gonna remain muted for a moment, James, while the audio changes a little bit to for live performance, because it changes it slightly. So. Let me know in the chat, James, if that's okay. I think it should be fine. Got off my mic. Okay, sounds good. Okay, guys, so this is also a drinking game, which is ironic because now I know what James does for a living. So every time I say the name James, you guys need to take a swig of whatever alcoholic beverage you're drinking. You might be a little bit drunk by the end of it, so just be careful. I've been searching for a man that they call James. James.
Lovely. Thank you so very kindly. Oh.
Sorry, I
Okay. All right. Well, so Jenny, there's a couple of things I wanted to ask you about. So you've got a normal day job too, but I would assume you don't mind me mentioning. So you mentioned on stream, so you work as a dental hygienist. I believe we're in a dentist office.
No.
No. I thought I was checking. I thought I heard that. What did you say?
No, okay, you might have misheard. So I work in a doctor's surgery.
Doctor's surgery. I was saying it's dentist, not doctor. Okay.
No, doctors. Yeah.
How do you find the balance between the music time and the day job stuff? I know it's always like a struggle with all these balls in the air.
Yeah, it's very hard. That's why I'm trying my very best to make it so I can do music more. And yeah, it is tricky. More recently, it's really kind of hit a point where I don't know. Sometimes your motivation kind of does take a drop, because you're tired. You finish work and Yeah, it's not easy. I basically work 4 days a week, and then I have a Wednesday, which I'm usually in the studio, which is the time where I do create my music that is produced and put out. And then at the moment, I'm doing usually about 2 live streams a week. When I very first started, I was doing up to 4 or 5 live streams a week, which I wouldn't be able to do now because of, there's you can put a lot of time into live streaming, but it kind of means that you're not putting time in other ways and other areas. So yeah, I do find it very very tricky at times. Yeah, really, that's the answer.
So there's a bit of your history that I was actually curious about the backstory with. So you had a band called Eli, and we've got some stuff up from stuff with your band. I don't know anything about the band or the history. I'd like to hear a little bit about that.
Yeah, so again, kind of at the beginning of lockdown. Well, it was actually just before that because I'd met James, the guitarist, ironically James. He'd we'd kind of like known each other from the open mic scene for a long time, and yeah, he decided he'd been through some stuff, and he came to me and he said like I want to get back into music a little bit, and I was like, yeah, let's jam, let's just like write some music or whatever. And I already had a few songs that I'd written, so like Tornado was one. There was a few other songs that I'd already penned at that point, and we decided that we were gonna like make them like into a band. And ironically at the time we were rehearsing in a place called the Studio in Widnes, and next door to where we were rehearsing was James and Ian, who sorry, not James, Josh and Ian. Josh, who was the drummer and is now my drummer, and Ian was like a second guitarist as well. And I already knew the bass player, Ray slash Danny, from again like I guess like we were like a similar age and we knew people like in the same sort of social circle. And we decided to ask him to join, and we joined. We formed the band, and at the time it was very band focused, and then it kind of went. I decided I wanted to put out my first album, and it was tricky with like lockdown and everything. Like there was barely no opportunities for gigs and things like that. So in the end, it kind of just dwindled out really. We did put one EP out, Black Smoke, which is we're really proud of, and there is still some unreleased songs that we actually recorded and we just never got around to putting out. And one day they will definitely get put out. But yeah, so that was kind of that. But then I started focusing more on my solo stuff, and James and Ray play in my solo band now. So yeah. But I will say, James, you're the only person that's actually pronounced that right on an interview ever.
That's because I've heard you say it.
What?
Yeah, I was paying attention because you've said the band name a few times. So I actually played when I was hyping up that we were planning to do this, and I was hyping up the pre-release for the song on my Tuesday show. I played the live video of all of my friends that you've got up on your YouTube. And I
Yes.
was just kind of curious about that because you've got the whole stuff there of talking about doing the live shows, doing the streaming. What do you find the differences are between doing like an actual live performance in a pub or a stage venue versus like streaming to the thing there? Like, is there's what is your difference in like how you approach it, your mindset? Like, how does that work differently for you?
Yeah. It's like a world apart. I feel like this is, yeah, it's a completely different animal altogether. I mean, for a start, you in the studio environment, everything's kind of perfect. Your monitoring's fine. Your surroundings are all set up, ready. You've got time to think, got time to breathe. Where a live environment, you don't have that time, and everything's a performance. And as much as my live streams are also a performance, they're also a conversation, and they're a way for me to kind of get to know my audience and for them to get to know me. Where a live gig is for them to get to know my music more. So yeah, the live environment is a lot more kind of, we try and get that a lot more polished, and yeah, there's a lot more factors that go into it as opposed to just sort of coming into the studio where everything's kind of set up perfect and good to go. And my mum's just corrected me. I must have said James and Ray. I meant Josh and Ray are in my band currently. Thanks, mum.
Yeah, too many Jameses. Yeah, the name gets confusing a little bit. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah.
yeah. So how many EPs or albums have you released in total?
So EPs I've released, including the band EP, I've released 5. I think that's right. Yeah. So I've got The Quiet Kind, Dear Daughter, and then I released an album, and then I released Lost Animals EP, and I've more recently released another album, and then the Forgotten Songs EP, and then the band EP came just before the first album, I believe. So yeah, five EPs. Oh no, yeah, 5 EPs including the band EP and 2 albums.
Wow, you're busy, and that's in how long of a time of recording?
So well, most of them came out after 2020. So if we forget about the Quiet Kind EP, which came out in 2016, all of those have been in the last 5 years.
Wow, that's busy. Like I said, talking about finding that time for balance, that's a lot of work in that time. That's impressive.
Yeah, and there's been other releases as well. Like there's been a few singles and things that have gone out that haven't been on like an EP or an album. So like I released a version of Zombie, I released a version of Run Up That Hill. I think there was a couple of band singles, and I've had a couple of solo singles as well. So it's been a lot of music in the last 5 years. It's been an absolute whirlwind, and I'm still releasing more. I've got 3 singles that came out this year. And like I say, I'm in the studio all the time. So
That's actually one of the things. Is obviously that we're here to talk about. Is a big part of this is you're here doing the new song "All of My Friends," which you
yes,
just released everywhere. And in fact, I'm going to throw up. I've got the link to that. So so if any of my people have not gotten that, and if you are not in my Discord for my listeners, I put up the links to all of this. But that link that I just posted in my chat has links to be able to purchase Jenny's new single on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Bandcamp, Amazon Music, and Deezer. But the link there is the Amazon UK link. I put up the US Amazon link in my Discord, guys. So if you
thank
want to get it on Amazon, grab it there. Nice thing go onto Bandcamp if you want to give a little extra support to the artist is that you can pick an amount rather than just doing that. So you can give Jenny a little extra, and more of it goes to her than on Amazon. The other thing there is if you like Jenny's music while we're playing, she's got a really cool deal on Bandcamp, and this is what I did a while back when I started following her. They have a digital bundle. So I think is everything available on Bandcamp, Jenny, or just almost everything?
Oh, pretty sure everything. They might just.
So
I don't think the covers are available on Bandcamp because I've not got the license for that. But
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So yeah, so if you go to Jenny's Bandcamp and you do the thing there, there's a digital bundle option on Bandcamp. So that gigantic amount of music that Jenny was just talking about, I think it comes out to because it's in pounds on the site. I think it translated into English and with tax, or into American, I should say. It's in English. I think it comes out to around $45 or $46. So for under $50, you get five EPs and a whole bunch of singles. It is a ridiculously good deal, and Jenny gets a lot more music there without giving Jeff Bezos more money because God knows Jeff Bezos does not need more of our money, and,
I
and
agree.
neither do Steve Jobs' heirs. They both have lots of money. Go to Bandcamp and give more money directly to the artist, please. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
so all the links to that are up in my chat. Um, what are the plans for the rest of the year? I know you've got some more tour dates through September. Any more singles coming out this year? What's up with touring?
So yeah, I'm touring in September. I do have some unannounced dates that I've recently added that I will be announcing very soon as well, which come early September and into November as well. But yeah, in terms of like my tour dates, because they're support dates actually, which yeah, I will announce very soon. But yeah, in terms of my tour dates, they're all up on my website. I'm not going to read every single date out now, but I've got 4 band gigs which are like full band. I've got, and then again, I'm supporting Daisy Toot on the 11th of September as well. And like I say, there's more to be announced very soon. But yeah, I'm all over the UK. I'm not. There's not many down south at the moment in terms of the south of the UK, but there will be more gigs next year, guys, that I've already got in the pipeline and booked and ready to go. So yeah, just check out my website, which is jennycolquitt.co.uk, and if you go to tour, then you can find all of my dates on there, or tickets, I think it says.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Very good. So I did have one thing I was kind of wondering about since your mom's here in chat with us. So you've got the song "Dear Daughter." Does that? And I'm just curious where that comes from. Does that anything to do with your relationship with your mom, or is that something completely separate, or where
It's
does
it's more a relationship with just I guess needing, yeah, it's relating to kind of like a maternal relationship, but it's not like about a specific relationship. It's more about like that needing of like support and help, but it also relates to like, you being the support network, and it's about a journey of growth and kind of reaching out to, like, yeah, I guess it's like that maternal relationship, but also like between me and my mom, and also me and my stepkids and people who I've met in my life. And yeah, so yeah.
So, oh, by the way, I mentioned in my chat. So that icon, that emote that popped up when I shared Jenny's socials. That's her dog Remy. So Jenny has two absolutely gorgeous dogs. So a bunch of her emotes are the dogs. They're sitting back there. Remy was actually in Jenny's lap earlier
That's
while we were getting ready for the show. We obviously don't want to encourage that right now because it's hard for her to stream in the lap, and Remy is a big dog. But Jenny has two absolutely adorable dogs. So you
ah,
know, they
they're
they
being
they,
really
they
good actually.
sometimes they sometimes pop up on stream. They're being quite good at the moment. So thank you to the puppies for behaving themselves.
Yeah.
So on that note in general, so I've heard you tell backstories about a couple of your songs. Like you've told the song about I've heard you tell a story about your new song, "The Water," which is about environmental stuff.
Yeah.
Peace Man, which is one of my favorites of yours, which got inspired by an encounter your sister had with a street preacher. Uh,
Yes. Yeah.
like in general, where do you get your ideas? Where does like what is it? Just everywhere? Is there something specifically that tends to inspire you?
Yeah, it's a mixture of things. A lot of my process kind of comes from the music. It's weird. Um, like songs like Peace Man and certain other songs that I've written about specific things, they're a little bit more unusual for me, really. Generally, I tend to sit and create like some form of music, and then the inspiration comes from that. A lot of my songs are about mental health and are about emotions and relationships with yourself and relationships with people around you. So they're very kind of like internal songs, really. Um, so yeah, a lot of that kind of stems from like a piano or a guitar part, and then I'll write about something that I'm feeling or something that I believe that other people are feeling at the time.
So what usually comes first, the riff or the lyrics?
Usually the music, like the start. So like say it was like "Hold Your Light Up," like that came first, and then it'll be like, okay, I'm gonna sing like, and it'll usually be like random stuff. Sometimes it is like an actual line, and that line will stay. Um, but quite often it's just like random words, and I'm quite good at kind of, I guess, I don't know what the word is for this, but yeah, oh no, improvising. I'm quite good at like improvising. So like me and Simon, my partner, last night we were just like jamming along and we were playing, and I was just saying words. And so a lot of it comes from improvising, and then what I'll do is I might like a certain word or line that I've said, and then I'll take that and I'll run with it. And then it can change on its head completely. Later on, I might really not like the vibe that I've gone with, and I'll use the melody then from that and just change the story in the song. And but yeah, it does tend to start with like a piano or a guitar riff or like a set of chords, but usually a riff. Usually a riff.
So you play piano and guitar both very, very beautifully. Do you have which do you have a preference for? If you had to pick one.
This is a really tricky question for me because guitar was always like is and was always my like go to, because that's what I picked up first in terms of like melodic instruments. But most of my music nowadays is on the piano. But I do a lot of gigs where I'm only playing guitar. So yeah, I mean, I'd have to choose guitar because that was like my go to. But I find more nowadays. I find more inspiration from the piano, but I don't think I could. I don't think I can specifically choose. But I think if I had to, I'd have to choose the guitar. If I had to.
So the other day, actually, you were playing your electric guitar a little bit, and you actually mentioned when you picked it up that you hadn't been playing it as much, and you played a couple songs, and you said, it's just not as easy as much fun to play the electric guitar when it's not at a live gig because it doesn't sound right to you. How do you? So when you're creating, are you usually doing that on your acoustic?
Yeah, usually. Occasionally, I will write a song on the electric, um, because it does give you a lot of scope. I've got like a really cool TC Helicon Line 6 pedal. Sorry, not TC Helicon. Line 6 stomp pedal, which has got like loads of different amps in it. And it does really give you a lot of inspiration. But yeah, it's just there's just something about it. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's that guitar actually, but it's just like the feel of it. It just doesn't give me as much like feedback. I don't get that same kind of kinetic feedback from it, and from that, then I don't find it as enjoyable to play. I'm also not very. I can play a little bit of lead, but it's not like what comes naturally to me. I'm much more of a rhythm guitar player or a finger picker.
So, yeah, it's funny. The first concert I ever saw, lo these many years ago, before probably 90% of the people listening were born, was John Denver.
Mm.
And I actually won tickets on a radio show, and I took my mom and my stepdad and my grandmother to see the show, and
Oh,
that was 1979, 1980. I was around 10, fourth grade,
wait, you were
and
alive then?
yeah, I was born in 1969. So
I thought you were like 30.
around that time though, so John Denver, I mean, of course, famously started as a songwriter and guitarist, but he'd done all acoustic, and he'd only done his first electric album a year or two before that. And I bring this up because he'd actually done some interviews and was talking about that, and he talked about it on stage in the concert. And since he actually had some people that were surprised to hear him going to electric guitar, but he said after all those years playing acoustic, sometimes he found it was difficult to write music on an acoustic and then switch it to an electric. Do you ever have that issue?
Um, I actually find it really enjoyable to do that. I just don't get the same. I wouldn't like that. Wouldn't be my go-to to perform, but occasionally, like you'll find with me, like occasionally I'll pick up the electric guitar and then I'm really, really into it, and I don't want to put it down on a live stream. And every song that someone requests, I want to play. So I do sometimes find it really enjoyable, but in general, like I just love the feel of an acoustic guitar. I also realised that I've not said hello to the people on YouTube, so I just want to say real quick hello to Tony and to John Bailey over on YouTube. Apologies that I didn't say hello a little bit earlier.
Well, that is so. What do you see coming up? I mean, you've done a huge amount in 5 years. What do you see happening in the next 5 years? What is the 5 year plan? Where do you see yourself going?
I mean, the plan is to kind of just keep increasing the fan base, keep releasing music, just keep going with it. Really, I really just want to make what we've got now in this community and expand it and make it explode. That's the dream. That's the plan. I do have shorter term plans, which I'm not ready to sort of announce just yet. But there is some things on the horizon that people can look forward to. I always say this because it's like sometimes I feel like I do a lot of crowdfunding on my platforms, and people don't necessarily know what they're crowdfunding for, but there is a lot going on in the background, and I'm very excited for the things that I've got going on at the moment. But yeah, I'm just not quite ready yet to share that, but that'll be coming soon.
Excellent. So speaking of sharing, I think I put up the link in my chat. So I think I've got all of Jenny's links shared in my chat. I think I shared this. Yeah, I did. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go
Are
ahead and
you
pull
okay?
up the link while we're talking in my Discord to the U.S. Amazon link for the song. So we are mainly here because you just released this weekend all of my friends, subtitled "Lonely."
Yes.
So tell us about the song.
Yeah. So this song, a lot of people think it's about just being lonely and about having no friends or whatever. And like, there's a part of the song that is about that, but it really kind of tackles a lot of social issues all in one. It tackles things like injustice and and war, social warfare, isolation, loneliness. Yeah, just generally the things that we experience, that aren't the nicest things as being a human. But yeah, it's a song about everything, and the lyric video actually is premiering tomorrow at 5:30 on my YouTube channel. So you guys can actually watch the lyric video, and it gives you a little bit more of a visual representation of what the track is about. If you're not already aware, but yeah, it's about like mental health and social warfare, anxiety, all of those fun things that we all have.
Yeah, I was funny. I actually wondered with the stuff of the song if that was something that had come out of COVID or if it was just general other stuff. I was wondering like where the inspiration of that went back to the isolation during COVID and stuff.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say like specifically it was like written about that. It's kind of just generally about like, I think I've noticed a lot of like in society, like a lot of people who, we might have like thousands and thousands of friends over on socials, but in general, like a lot of people are just kind of feeling lonely, and I come across a lot of that. Working in the GP surgery, there's a lot of loneliness in society, and just generally in life. I think it's one of them things that isn't really talked about enough, and I think like having a sense of community is something that's really really important. And but like I say, that's only one element of the song. It does kind of that's what kind of bleeds the song into one. It's like we have all these huge crazy things going on in the world, but you know when we go to when we go home, sometimes a lot of people just feel really isolated and lonely. And yeah, it's making it sound really sad now, but it is a sad song.
Yeah, I guess a couple of people were commenting when I played it when I played the live cut in the stream Tuesday night. They're like, "Oh my God, that's the as one of my regular listeners. He's not with us right now because Connor is in Australia. So I think right now it's like 5 a.m. for Connor. But so
Not coming from me.
Connor is probably sound asleep. So shout out Connor if you when he's here Sunday to hear his name, but he shout out. And Connor listening, he's like, "Oh my God, that song is such a gut punch. You got to play something upbeat." So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. So speaking of, because we have been on for quite a while, I know you have to keep it all day. Do you want to go ahead and play the song for everybody?
yeah, yeah. We'll do it. So this is all of my friends lonely, the important bit, and it is a bit of a gut punch. So just get ready with your tissues if
Yeah,
you've
get the hankies out, everybody.
yeah. It's not even that song. I'm really playing the wrong song then. Another name, another love. Sorry, all these bullets in this ground. Is this what it means to be holy? Give me one good reason why all of my friends are lonely.
Wow. Yeah, that gives me the shivers every time you play that. Every time you play that one, just
Wow.
absolutely. Yeah. So everybody take a minute and dry your eyes and blow your nose, everybody. So, well, we got to wrap this up before too much longer. But I wanted to ask. So I know I've got Ilk and Jane and a few of the lurkers in my chat, plus all the people on yours. So, well, since this is a chance for everybody to ask questions, does anybody have any questions for Jenny that you'd like to throw out in chat? Because here's your chance to get a little feedback and see if there's anything in particular that you'd like to have Jenny answer on.
Yeah, I'll bring up my
And
YouTube as well. Just check. Can actually add this as an overlay if you want for a minute while we're taking questions.
oh yeah, absolutely. Hey, there's everybody. So, but Jenny, I just want to really thank you for doing this. So, I appreciate you coming on. So, Jane, Ilk, any of my lurkers, anybody got any particular questions, or anybody else in chat have anything particular that they want to throw out to ask Jenny while before we wrap this up?
I think a lot of my audience already know everything about
Knows everything, yeah.
Oh, we've got a question actually from Linda, voice of a woman. When you were recording All of My Friends, was there certain production elements you wanted, and how did you and Dave work to create the finished product? Yeah, so I always knew that I wanted it to be really kind of piano led, and that riff was really important. So I really wanted that to be like the center focus point. I wanted it to kind of sound sort of in a similar way to a lot of my other kind of what I would call more poppy songs. So like I would class this as like a more poppy song of mine. Not like as in like kind of cheesy pop type stuff, but it's a ballad. So it's kind of a little bit more like I put it like with songs like Hold Your Light Up and songs like that. So I wanted the production to be sort of similar to them type of tracks, really. So kind of really kind of subtle music, but also creates this like soundscape. So a lot of ambience, a lot of elements in this one as well, like percussive elements that we brought in that kind of are also in other tracks. So there's things like it kind of follows the piano riff, but it's like a percussive sound underneath. The things like that we brought in, and I think the kind of drawn from songs like Soldier of the Modern Day. I think a couple of the samples we used from For a Moment. We had that like wind sound at the start, which we found. At first, I wanted it to be a lot quieter, but as I kind of warmed into the production of the track, I really really enjoyed that part of it. So that's actually throughout the whole song. What else is there? Obviously, we have like a lot of clean guitar in there, clean ambient guitar, which is a bit of a focus for a lot of my music. Vocals, I wanted it to be very vocal heavy, really, which a lot of my tracks are. And drums, again, kind of bubbling under the surface until we get to that snare hit in the last chorus, which is also the section that comes out of the middle eight, where it goes, I'm learning how to let you go. And it kind of expands in this like kind of wave of reverb hits. And then we've got kind of really ambient reverby vocals in the background of that as well. And then lots of backing vocals on the last chorus. Hope that answered it.
Lovely. So you got a question from Jane from my chat up there.
Yeah, I can see that. So I'd love to ask Jenny what the difference she experiences between creating music alone versus creating with others, artists, producers. Oh, that's a great question. So what I would say is I'm not much of a co-writer really generally. I don't think I've ever actually properly co-written a song. So it is a very kind of insular process for me. It's a very I almost turn into like a bit of a hermit, and like everything is forgotten when I'm starting to write a song. Like I come in the studio, or usually it's in here, and I'll just kind of like curl up into a ball, and it becomes a very insular process for me. But what I would say, like, I do really enjoy taking a song to the band and making it into a band track, or taking it to Dave. Sometimes, so Dave's my producer, sometimes it's rehearsed before it's even taken into the studio, so we have some kind of formed band version of it. And other times we create that in the studio and then take it into the rehearsal room. So it can happen either way, but it always seems to work really, really well. One thing I will say about my producer Dave is that we've got this really good connection with music, and we just know how to. We've been working together now for, the best part of 5 years, and I can't imagine like working with another producer, because we've just got this really good way of kind of communicating with each other. And Dave's very, very passionate about my music, and that's something that's really important. I think if anyone starts working with a producer, I think it's really important that they enjoy your music just as much as you, or at least 80% as much as you, because I think if they've not got that passion for it, then they won't treat it with the care that it deserves. So Yeah, and Dave, like, anytime I send him a new song, he gets super excited, and it's a really fun process and enjoyable, and our communication is just kind of like I couldn't imagine it could be any better, really. Let me just check I've answered that question correctly. I've lost it now. What's the differences creating it alone? Yeah. So like I say, I don't really tend to create it with other people. We shape the track that I've written, but I've never actually written a song, like changed the melody and lyrics in a room full of people. I actually, that could be a bit of a lie. So when I did like the Eli stuff, occasionally I'd like write the majority of a song, and then I'd take it in to the studio and I'd into the rehearsal room and I'd change it a little bit. But generally, it's all done kind of me, sat in this room.
And we've got another question from Ilk. He's from Ilk. He's asking about your drums and other instruments.
Let's have a look. Let me find it. I see a drum set in the back. I was wondering, is there any other instrument you enjoy playing aside from your guitar or piano? Or maybe another instrument you'd like to play? Yeah, I play the harmonica. Not particularly well, but I do play it. Play the maracas, the little mini maracas. Nah, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm actually at the moment. I will say that I am feeling so inspired to like pick up other instruments. Like I really want to learn the violin, and at the minute I'm going through a weird phase of I want to pick up the banjo and the cello. I don't know whether that'll happen or not, but I'm feeling very musical at the minute. Like more musical than I've ever felt. And I've been doing this for a long time now. So yeah, generally I love the drums. I'm actually really getting back into the drums. I've been playing the drums for most of today. Piano's really fun, and guitars are obviously really fun. So, but yeah, I can see myself picking up the violin and the banjo maybe by the end of this year. Love that.
So if you don't mind delving to touch into your personal life, you mentioned something earlier I'd never heard before. You said you had stepkids, which I did not know.
Yes.
So so how do they feel about mom being a rock star? Are they impressed, or are they like are they
No,
just
I don't think
like
so.
oh god?
I don't think they're impressed by it. I think if you asked any sort of like child of a singer or of someone of anyone, I don't class myself as anywhere near famous, but anyone who is famous, I think they would probably they wouldn't find it fun.
So any of them ever show the urge to come in and jump on the drums with you or anything?
A little bit when they were younger, but not really. They're not as into kind of music as me, really. They're very like social animals, if you know what I mean. They've got lots of friends, and they're way too cool to pick up the guitar. You know.
So I'm just curious about something, because I know that you've talked a little bit about getting stuff into TikTok. Are they into TikTok? Is that something they could like help you get a TikTok Jenny up and going?
They've got TikTok, but I can't see it. I can't see the TikTok pages. They're private.
I'm saying, have they ever like offer you, can say, hey, we can get you on TikTok?
No, again, I think it's they stay as far away from my music as they possibly can.
Like, oh god, she's doing that awful music.
Oh,
So,
she's
yeah,
doing it. Yeah, she's doing that again. Yeah, it's a bit more
the
like
tragedy of children, sharper than a
yeah,
serpent's tooth, like Shakespeare said.
yeah.
So,
They love Taylor
that's
Swift.
a
So I can't, as that's as far as it goes, really.
no, that's okay. Yeah, the dogs like the music, so that's the important part. The
I mean,
dogs are happy with it.
the dogs are absolutely forced to like the music. In fact, I've got a picture of So I was playing the guitar last night, and Simon took a picture of me, and Foy is literally under the blankets, hiding away from the music. I'm gonna try and show this, but it might not work. But you can see his little nose poking out of the blanket.
Oh my god, that is so adorable.
Yeah, he's like, oh no, and I don't know, like part of me thinks they like it, and part of me, when Simon plays the guitar, so Simon was playing yesterday and singing, and Foy goes and sits next to him every time, where he seems to judge me. He gives me judge. Can you see that judging fit? I don't know if you can't see that very well. It's too bright. It's too dark. But he judges me for. He's got a face that he kind of looks at you like, you doing that again. Remy does this like almost like shocked face, like, oh, she's playing music again. Honestly,
So,
like
so
my music is like, I feel like it just annoys most people around me. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I could live with me either. I think it takes a very specific type of person to be able to put up with the sheer amount of noise that I make on a daily basis. Because I literally sing all day as well. Like in work, like people tell me to shut up because I'll be in the kitchen and I'll just be belting out like a song and like they literally shut the door. So I think it takes a very specific type of person to be able to live with a Jenny. I am a very unique animal. I am definitely.
do you? I mean, is that something that you have to like remind yourself that you can't just go around singing all the time? You find yourself at work having to go, oh, God, I can't just start singing here at work.
Yeah, I do. When I hear that door shut, I go, oh yeah, I shouldn't really be doing that.
That's great. All right. Well, unless anybody's got any last minute questions, we've been on for a little over an hour. I should probably let Jenny get back to her life. It's yeah, it's
Oh,
10:30 on your end, so I don't want to keep you up all night. But thank
it's
you
all
very
right.
much for being here. Is there anybody else got any more questions for Jenny? Anybody on my end or anybody else, the rest of the chat have anything else they wanted to add? Yes, no, maybe.
Adrian has put in the chat. You play the banana. I just need to make that clear. That Daisy, my friend Daisy, she has a banana shaker. That's what he means by that.
I have actually seen the banana maracas before. So yeah, I've seen someone else with those. So
It's probably
fantastic. All right.
probably Daisy merch because she sells them.
So guys, there's all of Jenny's links. Actually, one of my big goals this year is I have enough frequent flyer miles right now to fly 2 or 3 times anywhere in the world that I want. So I'm trying to visit the UK. So
Mm.
if I make it to the UK, we're all gonna have to show up at one of Jenny's performances. You'll have to come meet me.
It feels like that might be the safer option.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll come meet at a pub somewhere. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, Jenny. I really, really appreciate your time. Thank you to everybody from Jenny's chat that came over and followed and joined. Do keep an eye out, and I'm sure Jenny will share it out as well once I get a chance to get the video edited here over the next couple of days and get the video up.
Yeah.
Really appreciate everybody's attention. You know, the whole reason I'm doing this, same reason I did the thing with Carrie Ann. I got to track down Daisy next. I gotta get the whole collective in. But I'm working with a number of other independent artists, and the people in my chat know. I mean, I do a lot of stuff to feature indie people. I do this so I'm not just sitting around playing music in my room by myself, and I love discovering all the new music and all the new musicians. A lot of other cool musicians I follow on Twitch, on the other socials, and I really appreciate everybody that comes out to support the independent musicians because that's where it's out right now, especially with all this crap with so many of the services trying to drown people out with AI. It is
Mm.
so important that we support the real musicians.
Oh, here.
So
Thank you so much, James, for having me on and keeping the flame alight for independent music. Really, really does mean the absolute world because there's not enough opportunities like this. So thank you so much for having me. And guys, if you've not
very
already followed
much.
James, make sure you do so because that's really, really important.
Hey, thanks to all the UK people for staying up kind of late on your end. Thank you to all of my people that showed up out in the middle of your day on a Saturday and giving up some of your time in the middle of the day on a Saturday for this. So thank you so much, Jenny. I really, really appreciate it.
Take care. Thank
And
you so much, everybody, and thank you, James. Remy, just saying hi and bye. But
oh, let's see.
go,
Say hi to
go
Remy
say hi.
before we go.
Come here. Come here. This way.
Hi,
Remy, say
Remy.
hi. Bye.
Aw, Remy.
He's so sad. Look this way. He's here.
Stream dog. Hi,
Being dog.
Remy. Oh my goodness,
Oh,
she's so adorable.
oh no, she's so
She's so
tired.
cute.
She's doing a tired. Everyone feels sorry for me little face. Look.
Well, thank you everybody so much for being here. Everybody have a great night. Jenny, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, James. You take care.